Hey there, e-bike fans. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to get more range out of your battery. So let's get started. First thing, if your tires right now are running low, they are creating more drag on your bike. And the more drag that you create, the more energy it takes to keep the bike rolling. And of course, your battery starts to run down a little more. Now, before I move on to the next step, I also do want to say thank you very much to Magicycle. They do have a special deal on their website right now that is $19.99 for this step-through model, this bike, and a second battery. There is also a special $100 discount code, so you get this and this for only $18.99. And that is a heck of a deal. You actually are saving an extra $140 about, by actually combining the bundle together, which will double your range. Obviously, if you carry this around, you can swap it in the meantime, or you can have one battery always charging. The next thing I want to say is, other than pumping up your tires to create less drag, is you want to go ahead and lighten up your bike. The other thing that you can do is do a little more maintenance on it. Like, this is chain lube. Something simple like lubricating your chain if it's starting to get a little rusty or it just hasn't been lubricated in a while. You probably want to go ahead and do that. If you haven't had your bike actually checked out by a professional mechanic in a while, you may also want to go ahead and have them grease everything down. The less resistance due to better greasing of the bike and more lubrication on the different parts, that'll help as well. The other thing I forgot to mention is, don't forget, when you're actually pumping up your tires, to also check to see if you have any brake rub. If there's any noise coming from your brake, that is slowing you down as well. So we have pumped up tires, we have actually some maintenance like lubricant, and then we are actually creating less drag. Next thing is to think about how your riding position is. The biggest factor is how you ride. And that includes also if you're riding straight up, that's actually creating a lot of wind drag, or you're riding a little more down. Now, of course, I want you guys to be riding as comfortable as possible, but that's something to keep in mind. If you're creating a lot of drag and you're not helping it at all, then of course you're just gonna have a lot less range. Also, how many hills you're gonna hit, if you can change your route, if that's possible, to something that's a little less hilly, or that has longer straightaways. If you can use your gearing, go down to the lower gears when you're actually coming to a stop so you can help the bike a lot more, and even in your higher gears. Go ahead and put it to the gearing that actually allows you to keep an even pace and keep the bike rolling. The other thing that you can do, for those of you who are Lectric XP owners, I'm going to be doing a video on changing the gearing, and that will actually allow me to help the bike at even the higher speeds, where I can still be pushing the bike a little bit more instead of air pedaling because the bike is going too fast in my gearing. Know how to maintain your battery properly. And one thing is keep it at room temperature whenever possible and you're actually storing it. The other thing is not to let it die all the way down to the bottom. If you're riding in colder weather, these batteries will not actually perform as well. And if you leave them on the heat, that will actually hurt the battery from being able to charge. The cells can actually be damaged that way too. So you don't want to go in extreme heat. You definitely don't want to store the bike in air temperatures that are going to be super hot or cold with the battery on it. You definitely want to bring this into the house to keep them protected and keep them lasting longer. These batteries aren't cheap. They do run on average about $500 for most batteries for e-bikes. The other thing that you probably want to do when maintaining your battery is to bring it down to 70% if you're going to be storing it. And around that area is where you want to be. You don't want to keep it completely fully charged and just sitting there for weeks on end at that. Now, from my understanding, it does damage the battery by keeping it that high as time goes on, but it's not something that you have to be extra critical, careful about. If it's just a couple of days here and there, by all means, then you can leave it charged, ready to go when you're going to need to ride it. But if you know you're not going to be riding it for a long period of time, discharge it down. Also, every once in a while, you want to charge the battery up all the way and leave it on the charger for maybe just a couple extra hours to let the BMS, the battery management system, fill up every single cell. Because sometimes some cells, they drain faster than others. And when it hits 100%, it just needs to trickle charge the other ones that have maybe lost some of their cap. And then that way you can have full capacity on every one of your cells. Probably want to do that like every couple months or so, just to let it sit there for a couple extra hours over the full charge. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have. Just get out there, have some fun, and Thank you guys so much for all that you have been so supportive on this. If you use the code again, Chris100, when you actually go to Magicycle's website, thank you again, Magicycle, for sending an extra battery to go and talk about battery management. You can go ahead and use that code, Chris100, saves $100 off either buying a purchase of a bike or even the bundle pack. You can use it for that too. So one of these bikes right now, selling at $1,589, you can get it for less than $1,500. That's a killer deal for this bike. In fact, I think it is still one of the best fat tire deals out on the market right now. There's some great values all around, but with a 52-volt battery under $1,500, I don't know how that can be beat, really. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you like this kind of content. You can also hit the bell next to the subscribe button, and that will notify you every time the next video comes out. Thank you again. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.